I thought, why are they having this in color?
Oh my gosh, you can color George's in red and blue. Ooh, that's cool.
I'll tell you. If you'll bend this horseshoe.
There.
Wow.
When you see Superman in a super moment in the color episodes, it's magic. Somebody in the Superman organization was very smart. They were really thinking about the future. The future was color.
They were the smartest company in town and knew that though it wasn't going to be on in color then in 54 or 55, one day they would be on in color, and so it has been.
Sometimes I wonder why Superman picked you for a friend. He's not afraid of anything. You're afraid of everything.
Well, Lois, perhaps that's the reason.
The biggest difference that we find in season 3 is the fact that they went to color, even though they were not broadcast in color until 1965.
Nobody could see them in color. They would go into a vault, be a lot more valuable later on. That's when the Adventures of Superman episodes really developed even a greater value.
The biggest difficulty, I think, going to the color years was George Reeves' Superman costume.
Now he was in glowing red and blue, and it was wonderful to see him, and they were great new uniforms.
Before, he basically wore shoulder pads, but this was a full torso foam rubber padding situation, which made him perspire quite profusely, which also caused skin rashes.
And it was a problem, and he would only stay in the suit at that point for so long.
I think he probably could be in the suit maximum of a half an hour before his skin would break out. And then they'd have to go and de-suit him and let him cool off and let his skin come back to normal.
Speaking of Gunner,
Well, dude, how'd you get out of the Hooskow?
We had to check all the wardrobe because they had to figure what would film right in color, but still be able to release it in black and white.
But now,
they had to rebuild the sets in color. And it also forced them to refilm all the special effects footage of George Reeves flying in color.
The show at this time mirrored the comics that were on The Stand. All the darkness had been taken out of it for a more comic book feel. So the writing was basically geared to 4 to 12-year-olds.
hello, Bates.
Hello, Superman.
You don't seem very surprised to see me.
Well, being a wrongdoer, I figured sooner or later you gotta catch me. What's gotta be's gotta be.
Well, now that's very philosophic.
As far as the writing is concerned, they're not as easy as they seem because you had an invulnerable hero. You know, you had to put somebody else in jeopardy and then find a reason why he couldn't get there in time or he didn't know about it. So it was, they were tricky to write.
As the shows became more young or child-oriented, Jimmy became more of a comic character than as a juvenile in peril.
oh, I never heard of such a... Oh, dear, that Gridley. What happened, kid?
Look, Miss.
Miss?
They really tried to push the envelope, I think, at that point in an economical way with simple stories that they could write that would have Superman frozen, or Jimmy Olsen in a dual role, or Lois Lane dreaming that she would actually marry Superman.
Superman and I are going to be married.
Yes, I know.
Well, how do you know? Well, I just...
Never mind, Lois. But I want you to know I'm just as happy about it as Superman is.
My favorite, of course, was the marriage of Superman. The Ham and Me came out because I knew I was going to be in the whole thing.
The Wedding of Superman is not only Noel Neal's favorite episode, but probably in the top 10 of the color episodes by the fans.
It's different from the other episodes in the fact that in this one, Noel speaks directly to us at the beginning of the show. And she tells us that this is her story, And later we find out at the end that it was all a dream.
You and I mean, isn't any of it true?
And I shed a tear, actually, because I was kind of worked up at that time. And then I was finished, and John Hamilton came over to me, and I was so proud. He said, nice going, very nice. First time he'd ever talked to me. And he was such a great actor. I was thrilled that he flattered me. We always had wonderful plots, good heavies, and of course George was such a good actor.
Does spring mean anything to you?
Well, baseball?
I thought so. Do you think spring means anything to Superman?
I doubt if Superman has any time for baseball right now.
Oh, you.
The color seasons came off beautifully, I thought.
They never treated that show as if it was just a kid's show. They treated it as if it was a credible story. You buy into a man flying through the air with superpowers, and his friends can't recognize who he is just because he takes his glasses off. Then you might as well make a good story. Put the actors and great behind-the-scenes people behind it. That's what they did, year after year.
Color was the whole reason that the show has survived as long as it has.
Even though I had seen the episodes, it was like watching new episodes again.
Color made the show more valuable than it would have been if it had been only shot in black and white.
The new generations coming up need color. It's helped to lead to the longevity of the series today.